Hi, Darius Rucker.
How are you?
I'm fabulous.
That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you enjoying the snow?
I'm not a big snow guy, but it's okay.
I know. Well, you don't live in Nashville, do you?
No, I don't live in Nashville. I live in Charleston. We never get snow. So when I came here yesterday, and it's crazy. I hadn't stopped since I woke up. I think
You brought it with you because it started yesterday.
I got to bring something. You don't want to come to Nashville empty-handed.
That's very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you started off, and I was like in 1986 is when this whole thing started for you.
Mm-hmm. I was a sophomore in college and met this guy who was a guitar player, and he asked me if he heard me singing in the shower. Yeah, he heard me singing a Billy Joel song.
Do you always sing in the shower?
I used to. I don't think I do much anymore, but I used to all the time. Yeah, because this was we had community showers. It wasn't like now they have all these great showers in these dorms, but ours was just 6 shower heads.
In one open room?
One open room. Yeah, and I was showering in the afternoon, and no one was in there, and I'm singing, and I walk out, and he goes, "Man, was that you?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Wow, I play guitar." And I said, "Really?" I was like, he said, "Why don't you come out later to see if we know any of the same songs?" And I did, and been a band ever since.
Did you have intentions to be a singer?
Always wanted to be. That's all I ever wanted.
Really?
Since I was 4, that's all I ever wanted to be.
Really?
Yeah, but you get older, and you realize that's never going to happen, and you got to get a real job.
Were you going to do the real job thing?
Yeah, I wanted to work in sports, something in sports, either radio or television or something.
We have a great voice for it, like a speaking voice.
Yeah, I still want to have a sports talk show someday.
You should have a sports talk show.
I want to do that someday.
What's your sport?
I like all the 3 majors we have here, but football, I live for it. Sometimes it's really why I get out of bed in the morning is because football's on that day.
Were you stoked about the Super Bowl?
I wish it had been a better game. I'm always stoked about the Super Bowl because it's the championship of my favorite league.
Mm-hmm.
But then around 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I get really sad because I realize there's no more football till September, August.
Yeah.
And that's always a sad time for me.
I'm sorry. I barely even knew who was playing the Super Bowl, so you probably hate
Only
me.
one team really played, so that's okay.
Okay, I want to start off with some rapid fire.
Okay, ready.
Are you a morning or night person?
Morning.
What?
I used to be a night person, but in my
but you can hang.
I can hang, but I get up. I'm up every morning at 6:30, no matter what I do, and I play golf or getting the kids to school or whatever. But I'm a morning person. So
you're just not really a sleep person.
Not lately. No, I don't need 8. That's for sure.
You don't need 8?
No.
What can you function on?
I'm seriously going on about 9 hours in the last 4 days right now. So
does that make you irritable?
I don't think so.
You're always so pleasant.
I try to be.
When I get tired, I get irritable. Not you.
Yeah. When I get tired, I just get I get quiet when I get tired, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so morning. If you had to be the pet cat to any celebrity, who would it be and why?
If I had to be a cat for any celebrity, I would be a cat for Paul McCartney.
Okay, why?
So I can hang out with him.
Is he your number one?
Oh, he's my he's one of the few things on my bucket list is to sit and have a beer with Paul. He's my absolute. Al Green's my absolute idol. Al Green's the guy who made me want to sing.
Really?
But I've been fortunate enough to actually get to hang out with Al a couple times. So
how was that?
Great. He's just a great human being. And
did he live up to all the hope you had?
Absolutely. He was great to me and nice, and it was awesome. And but Paul's a close second. I love Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd be his cat. Sit in his lap, let him pet your head.
He can stroke me. Yeah, I have something rubbing up against his leg. Absolutely.
Okay. Any tattoos or piercings?
I got 3 tattoos.
Okay.
2 tattoos. I got 2. I'm getting a third one, but I got 2.
What are you gonna get?
I want to find somebody to, and I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but in Elvish writing, which is from Lord of the Rings, I want my 3 kids' names.
I love that.
Yeah.
Where do you want to put it?
Probably on my arm.
And do you have another one on your arm?
I got I thought it was a peace flag, and this is flag I have on my arm. It's red, gold, and green, and in the corner where the stars are, I put a peace sign. And one day I get out of the shower, and my wife goes, "Darius, honey, I thought you said you got the peace flag." I said, "She says, no, you didn't. You got the Mercedes-Benz flag." And I looked at it, I realized they didn't put the line down the middle, so I do have the Mercedes-Benz flag here.
Do you drive a Mercedes?
She does, so it all.
Okay, you might as well get free Mercedes if you put it on your arm.
I agree.
That's amazing. Okay, what do you consider your greatest achievement?
Oh, my greatest achievement is my kids.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, especially, Carrie, who's in college now, I'm so proud of her. She struggled through a lot of hard times in school, and now she's blossoming into such a wonderful, beautiful human being in college and just enjoying herself. And my other, Danny and Jack are just such great kids. They're definitely that's the best thing I've ever done. Those
That's
three.
awesome. Did you always know you wanted kids too?
Oh, absolutely.
Was it hard to have kids touring?
It wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't hard. It was hard with Carrie, to be honest with you, because Hootie, we toured so different than country guys did. Like, I'd go for 6 months, and I'd go for a month without coming home, and then you come home, and, you're home for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then you're back out for 3 weeks. And, we don't do that in country, thank goodness. But it was tough then. Now it's just great. I mean, I tour in the summer and on the weekends, and, if the kids want to go. My son's, as you know, was with me the whole time.
Yeah, he's
and,
so cute.
They come out with me, so that's always fun.
Okay, so country touring is a little more family
absolutely
oriented.
Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you met in the shower with your band. Were they actually in the shower with you?
No, I was just me in the shower. I came out of the bathroom, and he was standing. His door just happened to be right by the shower, and I came out of the bathroom. He was standing in his door, and that's when he said, were you singing, man? Yeah, that was me.
So then y'all wrote together. All your band. Y'all are like a unit. Y'all always write together.
We're a band, yeah. We always, we do pretty much everything together, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And in 1994? Here Comes Cracked Rearview.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming?
No. Still don't believe it.
16 million albums?
Still don't believe it. I mean,
that has to be one of the highest selling albums of all times.
It's up there. We we had been a band for 9 years. 9 years we had been a band before we got a record deal. And we had seen it going from being, the biggest band in my dorm room to being the biggest band in our dorm, to being the biggest band in our college, then the biggest.
Did you play at your college?
Yeah, you can play frat parties all the time in the clubs and everything and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, then the biggest band in Columbia, then the biggest band in South Carolina, and then we were the biggest band in the Southeast that didn't have a record deal. And so we'd watched our careers climb. So when we got a record deal, we just thought, okay, this is just another step in our career. But then all of a sudden, the David Letterman show happened, and we went to bed. That night, we went to bed being Hootie the Blowfish, and the next day, we woke up about to be one of the biggest bands in the world. It was crazy.
How did that feel? How do you handle that? Were you ready for it?
Oh, I don't think we had to be. We didn't. We were lucky. We had 4 guys who were so close and so on each other, so on top of each other, that nobody could get a big head or get. I mean, I remember when Dean put on a black T-shirt for the first time. I think he took 5 hours of us just killing him. Oh, you're a rock star now. Oh, you're cool black T-shirt wearing. You're goth now. And so there was no time. And for us, we were on the road so much, there was no time. We didn't see the record sales going crazy. We saw our record at #1 every week in the Billboard, but we didn't see it. I mean, the money was going in the bank, and we were just on the road. All we knew was these shows are getting bigger, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's all we knew, and that was great.
So off that record you had, Hold My Hand, Only Want to Be With You. I got to say, that was my theme song. I loved that song. It's the best. Let Her Cry and Time, were those the 4 singles off that?
Yeah, it was 4 singles.
Huge songs.
Big records.
Yeah.
Big records, right? I mean, a couple of those songs are probably in, they're in the American Songbook, to be around for a while. And that was a great feeling watching those. And we came along at such a perfect time.
You did?
It was timing more than, I don't.
Do you think that's a big part,
timing?
timing?
The record was good, but it wasn't 16 million good.
Yes, it is.
And
no, it is. You're being humble.
And grunge was big, and record sales were dipping, and nobody was, and grunge was out, and everybody was tired of being sad and pissed off, and we came out and said, "Hold my hand," and the world said, "Okay, we'll hold your hand."
So what inspired you to write that?
Sony, our drummer, actually brought that one. He wrote that one. That's a good story. Our first drummer was leaving, and we were auditioning drummers, and Sony came by the house, and he played with us, auditioned, and then he said, "I got the song I want you guys to hear because I want to start doing the original music," and he played Hold My Hand. We were like, "You're the drummer." You're in, bro. Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys going to do 5 studio albums? Is that what it is?
I don't know how many we did, but 5 sounds about right. Yeah, I really don't.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, after that happens, you guys going to tour forever. Then you're like, I'm going to just pull a Houdini and go country? Because I'm such a badass. Like, why not just start from the bottom again?
In 1989, Radney Foster 1990, Radney Foster came out with his first solo record called Del Rio, Texas, 1959.
He's amazing.
And I'll never forget the first time I heard that record. The first time I heard that record, I said, "Man, I want to sing country someday," because I thought the record was so great. And I mean, I had been a fan growing up. I was a big Kenny Rogers guy, and The Opry was all, we listened to it on the week, because for me, it was live music, and I always wanted to hear live music. And you could find, I was an AM radio guy. That's how old I am. I was an AM radio guy, just loving it.
And you know all the history of the Opry too.
Yeah, I do. I know. I studied some of that stuff. But then we toured every year. And one day, Sony, our drummer, said, I just don't want to tour every year. I don't want to be a touring band like that anymore.
He got tired of it.
Yeah, he got tired of it. And so for us, I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try to make a country record.
Was the rest of the band fine with it?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to play.
Okay.
We were taking time off, so yeah, everybody go do whatever you want to do.
And you're like, I'm still ready to do this.
Yeah, I had always felt, and like I'd even said it to my accountant a few times. I'd always said, I don't think my career's over. I don't think we're done. I don't think I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And McGee, being the great manager they are, they got me a record deal with Capitol, because I say it all the time. I wouldn't have given me a record deal.
Why?
Because who's going to give the black lead singer of a once huge band who's now, they're still doing great, they're still doing great touring business, but, nobody's putting their records on the radio anymore, any new records on the radio anymore. They've had that run, and why would you give the black lead singer of that band a deal in country music when there hasn't been a black man with a hit in country music in 25 years?
But you said, this is in my heart, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I said do it, but they gave me a deal. I still say thank you to Mike Dungan all the time, because he said he went into the night he decided to give me a deal, he went into his offices and he pulled all his VPs and his main staff in, and they all sat in the room, and he said, I want you guys to know that I think I'm gonna sign Darius Rucker. And one of the guys said, Hootie, and everybody in that room told him it was the worst idea he'd ever had.
But it feels like a great idea.
It was in the end.
Yeah.
But I think on this, and I understood why they said. It's amazing, because even when I started a radio tour and stuff, I had guys who are now my friends really say, I thought I'd never play you because I just didn't think my audience would accept an African-American country singer.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, had you written country songs before you started the country process?
You listen to some of those Hootie records, and all those country songs are mine. I brought all those songs in,
Yeah. So, but when you started the country process, had you started the songwriting process for your album?
No.
So this was just like
I came in and just
dream.
said, let's start writing. Yeah.
And did you get hooked up in the community with the writers, or
Yeah.
have you found people you love to write with?
Oh, I love writing with so many other guys. Rivers, Rutherford, Tim James, Ashley Gorley, Chris Dubois. I'm leaving. I shouldn't have started naming names, because there's probably 30 guys in town that could call me anytime and say, let's write, and I'll clear my schedule to go work with them, because they're such great guys and great writers.
So you agreed to start back at the bottom.
Yeah, that was my idea.
How? You're just like the biggest star on earth. Sold 16 million records, and now you're going to start back at the bottom in country music and have to prove yourself?
I actually went into the office for my first meeting, and I told them I want to do a radio tour, which shocked them. They didn't think I would, because you just said they didn't think I would get in a car and drive around the 4 radio stations a day.
And it's grunt work.
And I said, I want to be, and I even told the guys that booked me, I said, look, I want to be a baby man. I don't want you guys to go out and say, well, he should headline or he should be in the middle because of Hootie the Blowfish. I said, no. I said, I'll take baby band money first. And my first tour was...
Were you first of 3?
My first tour was... I was first. It was Dirks, then Brad. That was my first tour.
No way.
Yeah.
You were first
30
of
minutes.
3?
30 minutes.
You did not.
Absolutely.
Are you so confident?
I wanted Nashville to see that I wasn't coming in here as a star. I was coming in here as the new guy, and I was going to work my way up. I wasn't expecting them to give me anything. I was going to earn everything I got. And
where does that mentality come from?
Growing up where I did, I grew up with nothing, and I don't want anybody to give me anything, because when you work for it, it's a lot better.
So you wanted to prove yourself.
Oh yeah, I wanted country music to know that. First, I wanted to know that this wasn't a one-off, and I wasn't coming in just to carpetbag and have a couple hits and go back to pop. And I wanted to come here and be part of country music, and so I felt the way to do that was to start from the bottom. I mean, go in the bottom and humble yourself and lose money, because I wasn't going to fire my crew.
Yeah,
I was going to keep the same crew, so I was going to have to lose money to do this. But it was like, let's work from the bottom up, and in the long run, I think it'll be better.
And you, like I said earlier, the Grand Ole Opry, so you got accepted.
Yes.
And how was that?
One of the things when I got here, I told my management, I said, I really want to play the Opry as much as I can, because Hootie, we tried to play Opry. We asked several times, and they all said no, because we were a rock band, and we understood that. But we really we never got to play it, and so I told them I want to play the Opry as much as I can. And that day, I'll never forget that day. I was, you go, just another day at the Opry for me, which I love. It's always surreal out there, and I love it. And, before I walked out, they said, we're going to have a question and answer period after in the middle of your set. And I thought to myself, I've never seen that. That's never happened at the Opry.
In the middle of the Opry?
Yeah, I was like, that's never happened at the Opry, but if you guys want to do it, cool.
Okay.
So I get out there, and a lady gets up and asks me a question, and I ask it, and then another lady asks me a question, I answer it, and then Brad Paisley stands up. And I thought it was a practical joke, because I was like, does he owe me? Because I think I might be one up on him, and I think and I'm really I'm thinking, this is going to be funny.
Oh, like you're about to get got.
I'm about to get got. And when he said, I'm getting emotional right now.
Oh.
When he said,
that's awesome.
do you want to be a part of the Grand Ole Opry? That was huge.
So what were the waves of emotion that you felt?
It was like,
and
wow.
How crazy, because you toured with him.
Yeah.
Tour.
And he at the time, and still now, he was probably my best friend in the business.
Really?
Yeah. And we talk all the time and text all the time, and it was one of those things where if they had asked me who I wanted to do that, it would have been Brad Paisley. And for him to be doing that, and for me to be becoming a member of the Opry, that was just huge for me. That was huge. That was such a great day.
Could you believe at that moment what you had accomplished? No. Your work ethic and your determination.
Yeah.
Like, you started over in a genre. You conquered rock. Then you started over in a genre, and now you're accepted into the most prestigious club in country music.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's unbelievable.
It was, and it still is. And it's one of those things where, as I always tell my kids, you got to work for it. And that's just a great example of it. Because I think some people, if they were me and they'd come over the country, they would come over with a different attitude. Like, I've already proved myself. I've sold 30 million records.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys just need to
play me.
Let me in, play me, But that wasn't who I was, because these people didn't have to play me. I mean, I could have come and put out 2 records and not had a top 20.
And you had 3 number ones right off the
3
bat.
number ones off the first record. That was crazy.
So what were your first 3 number ones?
Let me see. One was Don't Think I'll Think About It.
It
One
won't
was,
be like this
It won't
for
be
long.
like this for long. And the other one was All Right. Yeah.
And then you also had History in the Making.
History. That was on there too, and that was a top 5.
Yeah, that was at number 3.
Yeah.
So you basically had 4 number ones.
Yeah.
You came in, started at the bottom, got 4 number ones. Were you like, holy shit?
Yes, I'm still like, holy shit. Seriously, for me, it's when Don't Think I went to number 1, it was like, because that's just not what, I just didn't, that wasn't what my thinking. I was really thinking, let's get this, if we can get this in the top 20, maybe in the top 10, they'll let me make another record. Mm-hmm. And, that's great. I got somebody paying for my records. I don't have to make them myself. That's awesome. And that's what I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden it gets to number 1, and I'm like, you're freaking out. And then it's a 2-week number 1, and you're, oh my goodness.
It was a 2-week number 1.
And then, then the other songs keep going up the charts, and everything starts happening. And then, I get the Rascal Flatts tour and going out and doing that. And yeah, it was a fun run.
So you had 3 number ones. What drives you? What is your motto? Where does this come from? Like you said, where you're from, hard work, but like, what is do you just have like a vision board and you're like, I'm going to accomplish this? I
don't really, not a vision board. It's more like once I decide I'm going to do it,
you're going to.
I'm going to. If I don't, it's not going to be because I didn't work for it.
Okay.
If I don't get something, it's not going to be because I didn't work as hard as I could to get it. It's going to be just because I couldn't get it.
But you gave everything you could.
I gave everything. It took a toll on my life. It took a toll on the home life because I was working so much, and we don't live here, but I had to be here all the time. Always coming to Nashville, always doing this, and it was hard work, but now it's so worth it.
Do you have to do music?
I don't think so anymore. I did for a long time in my life, but I'm getting up there now. It's
no way.
Charles Kelly said the most perfect thing. It was years ago, a couple years ago, when George Strait announced that he was going to retire, and Charles and I are sitting around having a beer, and he says, Darius, you're the oldest guy in the format now. Oh my
no,
goodness.
You're not.
I am.
I don't think so.
I am.
Can't be.
I am. I'm older than Tim McGraw. I'm older than I am.
You look younger than everybody.
I'm the oldest guy in the format, and that was funny. That was funny.
Well, that's kind of nice.
It was cool.
You're the patriarch of country music.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'm the granddad. I'm the old dude in the corner in the wheelchair.
So after you did History in the Making, now you've done. Is this your 4th? You're on your 4th country. So you've almost had as long of a country career as you have of a rock career. Did you ever think that would happen?
No. My goal was to get them to let me make the second record.
You just wanted to pay for it.
After I got my record deal, that's really what I told myself. Let's go work my butt off, and they'll let me make another record because I loved it. It was fun. I met Frank Rogers. I loved working with him. Things were great, you know.
And he's your producer.
Yeah, and so it was when it all started. When I told myself early on I wasn't going to get into the number. I didn't want to get into the numbers game because when you're watching charts and everything, that sucks.
It'll drive you crazy
because they move so slow and you're watching the charts. So I told myself I wasn't going to get into that. And
so you didn't?
I didn't. And so when people would have to come up to me and go, you know, you got a top 10 record again. I was like, what? Cool. Didn't know. You know, and I don't think I ever saw a number one. It was always somebody calling me going, we're number one this week. Cool.
Do you set your expectations at 0? Like you work hard, but do you set your expectations?
I think if it's a different situation, I think in this situation I set my expectations so low because if you looked at the picture, it just seemed like to want 7, 8 number ones and say I'm going to do this and have 4 number one records. That just didn't seem to be really feasible.
Yeah.
The way this landscape of the whole plane was, it just didn't seem like feasible. So I just wanted to be a small part of the community. Like you said, get somebody to pay for my records. That's all I wanted.
You just want to be on a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I want somebody to pay for my records, and you know, it turned into more than that.
So what's the difference between the rock genre, and country? What's the different vibe?
The one thing about rock music, you can say anything. You know, rock and pop, you can say anything you want. It doesn't have to make sense.
What do you mean?
Who let the dogs out?
What does that even mean?
My point exactly. Huge song.
Who let the dogs out?
Number one song. Huge song. Meant nothing. No meaning. In country music.
That's really funny.
In country music, you always have to have your song has to have a story. It has to mean something. I mean, I listen to even the songs that you think are just, you know, throwaway songs or songs that are nothing because they're so popular. Whatever. If you listen to the words are so great and the story is so great and they're talking about something, and I love that. And you always hear about the fan loyalty, and I tell you that's true.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how loyal country music.
Once they're with you, they're with you.
They're with you. I always say, pop and rock is always looking for the next big thing. And country music wants the next big thing, but they also want that blanket that's on their bed that's been keeping them warm for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know,
comfort food.
I love that.
Feels good.
I love that. Yeah.
Who are your greatest? Who do you admire in country music?
Oh, my biggest idol. Every time I open my mouth, I'm trying to be Randy Foster. No
Have
doubt.
Y'all written yet?
Trying to be. Yeah, we've written a few songs together. We've done some shows together. He's a friend, and he's such a good. When you talk about meeting a guy and him being the way you want him to be, Randy Foster was the way I wanted him to be.
How did you want him to be?
He was the nicest human being, so humble. And the first time we met, I told him the story, and I went to see him play when he was in Foster and Lloyd in this club, and I showed up late because I was working selling records and I had to close the store down. I showed up and I missed about 3 or 4 songs, and I get there and of course, you know, this bar's packed. I'm the only black guy in the bar, and you know, I make my way up to the front. I get there late and I make my way up to the front because it's Foster and Lloyd and I ain't missing it.
Right.
And I'm up there, and so after about 10 songs, I'm starting to get a little buzz, you know, and I start yelling, you know, play You Can Come Crying to Me. You know, they're not, you know, they're ignoring me, and so they go away and they're coming back for the encore. And when I come back for the encore, sure, there's that jerk again in the front row, you know, play You Can Come Crying to Me. So Radney, being the nice guy he is, looked over at me and said, hey, man, I think you came in kind of late because, you know, we played that early in the show. And I looked at him and said, hey, man, I'm the only black dude in this place. And you mean to tell me you can't play the one song I'm asking you to play? And Bill looks at him and goes, he is. And they played it again.
They did.
Yeah, and
so you finally made him hear
you. I told him that story, and he couldn't believe that was me. He was like, "That was you?"
He didn't know it was you.
He said, "I've told that story a million times. I didn't know that was you."
He had no idea it was you.
That was me. Yeah, he had no idea that was me.
Y'all hadn't met yet.
Well, we hadn't met. I hadn't made it. I mean, and Hootie hadn't made it at this time. We were still a club band at the time.
This was when you were clubbing it.
Yeah, we were clubbing it when all that went down, and so he was like, "Wow, I can't believe that was you." I've told that story a million times. I was like, "Dude, that was me."
Full circle.
Full circle.
I mean, that comes back around.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of interesting that Radney Foster is the one you picked because he's more obscure. He's not like mainstream country. So
I think that was.
Do you like that kind of?
Yeah,
vibe?
I think the people I love. I mean, I don't mind. I like mainstream. No, I don't mind. I like mainstream country.
Yeah.
But the guys that I love it. Nancy Griffith. I love Dwight Yoakam. I love Radney, Foster and Lloyd. You know, those Doc Watson country records like The Portrait and stuff like that. Those are the records that I love. When I was just engulfed in that stuff, I wasn't listening to a lot of country radio because I was listening to all those records.
You're a lyric guy.
Yeah, always.
What do you like to write about?
Oh, I like to write about everything. It seems like in the first records, I was always writing about life, my life and what was going on. And, later on, you just start, then you write about stuff that happened before or where you are now. But I'm just like to write. As long as the lyric is good, I like to write it.
And then you cut an outside song that was massive.
Yeah.
Which I had always loved, Wagon Wheel.
I had too, but I never thought about cutting it.
How'd that come about?
Oh, this is a cool story. I was my oldest daughter, Carrie. She was in a high school talent show, and so I went to see it. And I was in the middle of making my record, and I went to see it. And I'm sitting there, and the faculty band. I'm talking about 2 janitors and like 4 teachers get up.
They're in a band.
They're a band, and they and they start playing Wagon Wheel, and they're playing it really country with drums and everything. And I'm sitting there going, I never heard Wagon Wheel like that. I always thought it was such a bluegrass song. I'd never heard it country. And they're playing it, and in the middle of the second verse, I'm texting Frank Rogers, my producer, going, dude, you remember that Wagon Wheel song? He's like, yeah. I don't think we should cut it. A lot of people cut it. I was like, dude,
it's never been cut all the way.
I was like, we're cutting it. And we cut it, and that thing took a whole. And when we put Lady A on it, is when we first cut it, I went, cool, great, last song on the record, it'll be awesome. Never thought it'd be a single. And then we put Lady A on it, and it just went to a new level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that one of your biggest songs?
That was the biggest song I've had in country music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else? You've been married to the same woman, Beth.
Yes.
She's beautiful.
She's awesome.
You have given me some marriage advice. Do you have any marriage advice? Like how? Because she's been through the whole Hootie the Blowfish days.
We've been together 17 years.
How? What is the secret?
You got, first, of course, love is one of the secrets, but you have to make time for each other. And I mean, for us, so you know how it is. We're on the road so much, and now when you're having kids, it's not like she can just pack and go on the road with me when the kids got school and everything. So we gotta make time for each other. I think our secret is we've both just decided that we're gonna stay together. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you asked both of us, we could say, yeah, we've both given each other reasons we could leave. Yeah. Or we could, but we've decided to stay together. And it's a commitment. It's a commitment. We work on our marriage. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
People who don't work on their marriage, you have to work on your marriage like anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think and I think for me, it took me a while to get that because I'm a dude, and I thought I'm providing, everything's good, we have a great life, and no, we have to make it a great life. It's not be great just because we can live wherever we want and go wherever we want. It's got to be great because I want to talk to you. I'm going to go sit on the beach and have a conversation. I want to go sit on the back porch and have a conversation. Yeah. And those are the things that keep it together.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your watch. Mm-hmm. You get my husband and 1,000 horses. First off, Graham and you have a little bromance.
Graham's my bro.
He's the bass player, 1,000 horses.
Yep, the most important member of the band.
Yes. He is. Like the last night of tour when they toured with you all last year, Darius is like, here's the band, 1,000 horses, and here's Graham.
Featuring Graham.
The only one that matters. Y'all have such a bromance. You bought him some shoes.
Yeah.
He wears those things with so much pride.
Yeah.
Because they're beautiful.
Yeah. I have this great company called Old Star out in California that hand makes these. And I remember we were hanging out with the horses this one day, just got their
they love you so much.
Oh, I know. I love them too.
Is it a mutual love fest?
Absolutely. That's why I was so disappointed when the tour ended last year because I knew we had been on tour for almost 2 years together. Yeah. And, they were my boys. Yeah. And, and I'm so proud of them. So proud of them. So proud of them. They're doing great. I love those guys.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. So you got Graham some boots.
Yeah. And it was this thing where I started with Graham. I started it with Graham. The first guy in the band who mentioned my boots, I gave him a pair. Oh. And so Graham was the first guy who said, hey, man, I love your boots. I was like, you love my boots? What size you are? What size you wear? And he told me, and I don't think he thought it was serious. No. And then the next time I saw him, I walked up and said, here, man, here's your boots. And that's now a ritual with me. Like
really?
With Dan and Shay, the first one of those guys to go, hey, man, I love your boots. They're going to get a pair of boots.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up because I know you got to go do the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes.
But I like to end each episode with a little segment called Leave Your Light. Okay. So, leave me some inspiration.
Leave you some. I'm looking around at the world and everything that's happened. I was talking about this last night. So many disasters and so many bad things happen. And I think the more you can be nice or be good to one person at a time, the better the world is going to be. There's so many people go through life go through a day not once doing something nice for somebody else. And I think every day try to do one good thing. If it's just, if it's just shake somebody's hand or pat somebody in the back or ask somebody, you having a good day today? Do something nice for somebody every day, at least once.
I love that. Well, you actually have a reputation of being one of the nicest men in country music.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Darius.
Thank you.
This is amazing. Bye.